Welcome back to This is a Commander channel, where this is a Commander channel, and today I'm going to talk about Commander Tough Rules and Cool Interactions, episode 63. Today's episode is going to take a look at a creature from a very popular cycle from the Baldur's Gate Commander set, and how it has an ability within an ability. The creature is Ancient Silver Dragon, which is a flying 8/8 Elder Dragon for 6 blue, and it has a triggered ability that says, whenever Ancient Silver Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. Draw cards equal to the result. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Before getting into this scenario, though, I want to take a quick look at another card called Thought Vessel, which is an artifact for 2 generic mana, and it has 2 abilities. One is a mana ability to tap for a colorless mana, and the other is a static ability that just simply says you have no maximum hand size. So some of you are probably noticing that these 2 cards have on them a similar bit of wording of you have no maximum hand size, except that the dragons lasts for the rest of the game, even if he's destroyed. So time for some scenarios. First scenario, player A plays their Thought Vessel and then moves to end their turn, at which point player B disenchants their Thought Vessel, and then during the cleanup step they have 10 cards in hand, and so they discard 3 cards down to the normal 7, as they no longer control their Thought Vessel. Okay, now on to the second scenario. Player C plays their Ancient Silver Dragon, and then moves to their end turn, at which point player D Beast Withins their Ancient Silver Dragon, and then during the cleanup step, they have 10 cards in hand, and so they finish their turn and tell player D to go. But player D says, no, you gotta discard down to 7 cards. But player C says that they do not, they have no max hand size for the rest of the game. Okay, so how should both of these scenarios end? The same or different? Is player C correct in that they don't have to discard down like player A did in the first scenario? Or is player C wrong and both scenarios should end with the players ending their turns and having to discard down to their hand size during the cleanup step? So these cards and how they handle this effect are quite a bit different. Not only do they differ in that Vessels is a static effect and how it goes away if it has left the battlefield, but also for the dragon, you do have to do a little bit more effort to earn the effect. We can see that the no max hand size effect on the dragon is actually part of the paragraph for its triggered ability. It is not on a line all by itself. It is not a static effect that just applies once the dragon exists on the battlefield, but it is a continuous effect that is applied to the controller upon resolution of that triggered ability. So you will have to get the dragon out onto the battlefield, attack with it, and manage to get through with some of that combat damage for its effect to apply for the rest of the game. But then, once it has, if your dragon leaves the battlefield for any reason, if it's destroyed, exiled, returned to hand, or anything of that sort, then you will still have the effect applied to you, and you will have no max hand size. Here is a tiny little bonus question for those of you who have stuck around to the end. If your opponent were to gain control of your Ancient Silver Dragon, post dealing combat damage and resolving the trigger, would they now have no max hand size for the rest of the game by controlling your dragon? If yes, or if no, why is that the case? Anyhow, that's all I've got for today's episode. As always, I hope that all of you have found the video to be entertaining at least, and I hope that a few of you even learned something about the crazy rules in this great game of Magic. I hope also that my voice hasn't been a little too altered or too mumbly. I just recently had surgery at the dentist, and so my gums at the top are a little stitched together to my lips, so I can't enunciate as well as I have been able to in the past, but I hope I've done a good enough job here in this video. So yeah, have a good one. Ta-ta.